As you'll notice, I'm doing this from home, and I'm doing this in a far more casual setting than usual, although I have broadcast from here before. I am doing this casually because tonight, this is a more casual mood type thing. Yes, I know. The event name is very dramatic. But tonight, I want to go way back. I mean, way, way back. So, one of humanity's oldest traditions is telling stories. We do it every day. We watch television where we listen to stories. Even the news is told to us as a story and a narrative. But there's another tradition, almost as old as storytelling. Actually, yeah, almost as old as storytelling. And it's very inherent. And there's a piece of technology related to it. And so I present humbly for your consideration a single die. Seems almost too simple, doesn't it? But Richard, that can't be a piece of technology. At one time, it was. Ancient people, or people at the time, used to take the ankle bones of animals, shave them down, make them as even as they could, and the first dice were, they were not perfectly square, they tended to be pitted, so they had corners that were higher. They have been referred to by many names: tesseract, luck cubes, you name it. Humanity has humanity has loved these for almost as long as we could tell stories. And why do I present something so simple as technology? Think back. Really think. We love stories and we love games. But these simple devices are tools of a trade, usually, sometimes gambling, often gambling, especially way back. Fortunes have been made and lost simply by the toss of the humble dice. And let's be honest, back at that point, games of chance, people couldn't read. That is actually a fairly modern invention. The fact that the populace can read is an industrial age invention. We only started to learn to read during the industrial age when they needed people to be able to read and write the reports that were required to keep industry running. And so these were a common way of entertainment. Games of chance, simple, portable, could go anywhere. And now, and then of course, it led to, well, this is the modern equivalent, but the dreidel or the top, providing hours and hours of entertainment to children. Once printing became more accessible, board games. And again, at the simple use of two of these dice, playing Risk or Monopoly or the game of life. Well, the game of life had a wheel, but nonetheless, different form of dice. Empires made and crumbled. But more importantly than anything else, these phenomenal pieces brought us together. Yes, it made us, yes, there was a lot of gambling that came about from these, but it did bring us together and still does. Board games galore. There are games that are straight up dice. Liar's Dice, Farkle, Yahtzee, Yum, just to name a few, are just some of the myriad number of games that are based on dice. Shut the Box. Um, there are just far more than anyone could count, to be honest. And then we evolved. We took it a step further because in the 1960s, late 60s, and early 70s, some brilliant people made different dice. They started making these very unique sets. And they had different types, different facets. No longer were we just to the six-sided. We'd have four-sided, 20-sided, 10-sided, 8-sided. But why? Because these wonderful people made something that became a household name, Dungeons and Dragons. Why do we bring that up? Because Dungeons and Dragons took two things that humans loved: a little bit of gambling, a little bit of chance, and the ability to tell stories, and merged them together so that stories were no longer told by one individual but by groups. We could do this together. Board games bring us together. Role-playing games really bring us together. And role-playing games are inexpensive. Once you have the books, all you need is your imagination. Yes, you can go out and buy figurines. You can go out and buy models and build whole towns. And you can get extensive on the maps and trappings and fixings. But ultimately, it comes down to coming together. For this reason, and a little bit of chance, the only reason that they have these rules is because when we're playing make-believe as children, it's I shot you, no you didn't, yes I did, no you didn't, yes I did. That doesn't tend to work well for a group of adults, or teenagers for that matter. And so we developed a rule system. We developed a way of everybody being able to tell their part of the story, and then still accommodating for the chance, having the chance of maybe you made that shot, maybe you didn't. And we have a firm way of establishing that and making it work. And by the way, I've been collecting dice for a long time, and this is not my complete collection, but I'm going to show you just a little bit, just to kind of give you an idea. Here are some very special ones. These are rather unique. You've got letters. This is actually a 24-sided dice. It's quite unique in that respect. Symbols of alchemy and zodiac. An oblong dice, something that has completely, this is not random by any far stretch. Some sides are bigger than others. A few dozen six-sideds here. Miscellaneous over here. This is a game called Proteus, which uses dice instead of chess pieces so that you can see more. I'm going to change this over here. There we go. Let's swap these up, shall we? Chess. of some of the rampant possibilities that these dice represent. And by the way, if you're not into knights and medieval fantasy, that's fine. There's Vampire the Dark Ages or Vampire the Masquerade, which is highly political. There's Innomine, which is the fight of humans between angels and demons. There is Cyberpunk, which is futuristic. The Chromebooks, these are Chromebooks, these are part of Cyberpunk, which they've now made a very extensive computer game based on. But it's a remarkable universe of super futuristic high tech, a little dystopian, but neat nonetheless. And that blends our storytelling and our games of chance together. And so I leave you off with the consideration of the humble die. If you guys want to know more, here's my email. Yes, Gamer Dice Sets, exactly. If you guys want to know more, hit me up an email, hit me up in the comments. If you guys want to play something like this or want, believe me, there's all kinds. Whether it's champions, GURPS, superheroes, you name it. There's a game out there for everything, and it's meant to bring us closer together. So let's get closer together. This is just a cool idea of a simple technology, very unintimidating, to bring us together, and so we can do more. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow, and I hope you have a fantastic evening. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys tomorrow at live at 6:45 with something else to maybe make you think about, or if I can get an interview on, that'd be even better. All right, see you guys tomorrow.